Hey, Carol, get down from that pyramid.
But I'm flying a kite. That is a perfectly natural thing for a person to do on a pyramid.
Well, granted, but it's time to record Refried Scenes.
That's right. It is Refried Scenes, Death on the Nile. I know we were supposed to do Old Boy, but I don't hate life enough to watch Old Boy right now. So
Basically, I don't want to.
Yeah, particularly a Spike Lee joint. I don't want to sit through that mess again.
So we did Death
on the Nile.
Death on the Nile, after seeing
A Haunting in Venice. Yeah, we thought about it as like, oh wait, there's another Poirot mystery we could do. So yeah, we did Death on the Nile, 1978 version and the 2022 version. Yeah, it came out last year.
Yep. So the original starts off with, I don't know if you want to call it just an introductory sort of setup scene or a prologue or what have you, but we see two young women talking. One is pleading with, they seem like they're friends. One is pleading with the other. I've fallen in love and we're broke. Can you give him a job?
It's that kind of friendship.
And without much debate, she says, "Okay, I'll
meet him.
I'll give you."
She's hesitant, though. I will say, Lynette in this one is hesitant. She wants to meet him first.
She's hesitant for a moment, but she does want to meet him first.
So she lays eyes on that Simon McCorkindale, and then
you see where this is headed. So fast forward to what we would say present time. They've met. Apparently, he's working for her and
working hard.
And at their wedding a year later,
actually no, it's like 6 months later.
That's true. It's not a long.
Yeah, he dumps Jackie and marries Lynette like 6 months later.
So there's this surprise reveal that he
married her.
He's not with the one that begged for him to get a job. He's with his employer. And then we also meet Poirot. That's when he enters.
Yeah, he is currently in Egypt. I think he says he's just finished up a case, and he is just going to take a trip down the Nile. So he's like on vacation in this one. He's on vacation.
Is he not retired? Or
no.
Am I confusing that with Haunting in Venice?
That's Haunting in Venice,
okay.
Yeah.
He's well known. He's got a reputation at this point. So when he's on vacation, everybody he meets knows
Monsieur
I gotta be on my P's and Q's around this dude. And he meets a whole cast of characters, very Agatha Christie, like that all have a motive.
They all hate Lynette.
They all hate Lynette. Lynette being the wealthy heiress, and she's not the most likable person.
No, in this one she's not very likable. Yeah, she's short. She treats people kind of poorly. Not like terribly, but you can tell she's a snob.
There are times where I can tell that she's just advocating for herself, and then there are other times that I'm like, oh, she's downright antagonistic towards this person.
Yeah.
But the thing I like about those Agatha Christie books is that, most mystery novels I'd read before were where you had a cast of characters where nobody had a motive, and hers are where everybody's got a motive.
Everybody's got a motive.
And then Poirot has to determine, who actually had the means, and all of that. So you've got... Do we want to run down who...
Yeah, we should probably run down the characters, because there's a lot of them in this
There's a lot of them. We have Maggie Smith,
who plays Nurse Bowers.
We have Angela Lansbury,
who plays Salome...
Otterborn.
Otterborn. Yeah. Okay, so Nurse Bowers is a nurse to an elderly lady, and Salome is a writer in this one?
An erotica writer.
I thought it was an erotica writer, yeah, because she puts Lynette in one of her books, I believe.
Betty Davis.
That's the elderly woman that Bowers is nursing, and they have a very antagonistic relationship.
Mia Farrow.
That's Jackie.
Jane Birkin.
That is the maid. That's Lynette's maid, who wants to leave to marry somebody, but the guy's already married, and Lynette won't give her money.
Oh yeah, David Niven.
David Niven.
Niven.
Yeah, that's
My
just
apologies.
Poirot's friend. Poirot always seems to have this, this guy who hangs around with him and helps him solve mysteries, and that is David Niven in this one. I can't even remember his name. It's like a colonel something. He's a lawyer. Oh, he's also looking out for Lynette's English interests.
Her estate. Yes.
Her estate. So he's there actually to kind of monitor Lynette on her honeymoon.
George Kennedy.
That's her uncle, I want to say. There's a relation between him and Lynette, a family relation, and he's managing her affairs poorly. So he's there to get her.
He's managing stateside.
Yeah, and he's there to get her to sign papers duplicitly.
And Jack Warden.
That is a German doctor who is apparently gave a shady medical thing to Lynette's friend. Why he's on this trip, I'm not sure.
Why is he German?
I think he was German in the book, actually. Yes, they kept very close to the characters of the book in this one.
It doesn't matter to...
It doesn't matter to anything.
Okay.
And boy, let me tell you, Jack Warden can't do a German accent.
No, it was distractingly bad.
So distractingly bad.
I also had issues with Mia Farrow's performance.
Oh, we'll get into that in a little bit.
But yeah, that's true. So I'm just kind of going to skim through. Everybody's on vacation, touring Egypt. There's an attempt on Jackie's life, but
Lynette's life.
Lynette's life.
It's so difficult to keep names in this type of mystery because there's so many freaking characters.
Yes. So I apologize. I'll probably make a few mistakes. So they go on a few tourist things. There's an attempt on Lynette's life, but Simon saves her, or she narrowly escapes that.
Jackie is following them around because they're on their honeymoon, and Jackie has been following them since their honeymoon began, playing the jilted lover, just trying to make Simon feel guilty for dumping her.
Yeah. And it's about halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
That Lynette actually dies.
Yeah.
But this is after sort of an explosive discussion happens in the parlor between Jackie and Simon.
Right.
Jackie's had a lot to drink. Everybody's had a lot to drink.
Everybody drinks in this.
Everybody's been drinking very heavily. Simon sort of had it with her attempts to intimidate he and his new bride. So he confronts her angrily, and she shoots him. Mm-hmm. She shoots him in the leg. She's a bad shot. A couple people rush over to help him. A couple people rush over to help her because, of course, she becomes the hysterical woman after she fires the gun.
And goes catatonic.
Right. And so then the next morning, it's determined that Lynette's body has been found. She died in her sleep. She was shot on the temple.
Yeah.
And of course, that complicates things because the natural...
You would think, you immediately think Jackie.
The suspect would be Jackie, but she has a ironclad alibi.
Yeah.
Witnesses with her all night long.
Right. And it can't be Simon because he was shot in the leg. So then Poirot has to interview everybody else.
Right. And in doing so, the maid is killed.
Yeah. The maid who says a very interesting thing when she's interrogated. If only I was on the deck. If only I was having a smoke. I might have seen somebody.
And I might have been able to tell the authorities exactly what happened. So she wakes up in the river.
Yeah.
And then another person is about to tell Poirot.
Yeah, somebody witnesses the maid's death, and she goes to, because it's Salome Audubon, it's Angela Lansbury, goes to tell Poirot, and she just gets shot in the head.
Yep.
Out of nowhere, just gets shot in the head.
Just a dollop of ketchup on her forehead.
It is really orange blood in this movie. It's like tomato soup.
Yeah, and at which point Poirot says, okay, enough killing. I need everybody to gather in the saloon in 30 minutes to sort this out. And so he unravels the mystery. Are we going to do the spoilers of what happens?
Yeah, we can let them know. Yeah. Spoilers if you've never read Death on the Nile or seen either of these mysteries. We're going to tell you who did it.
So Jackie was the mastermind. Mm-hmm. Simon was the puppet.
Yeah. They deliberately put Simon and Lynette together so he could marry her, and then she would be killed on their honeymoon and he would inherit everything. Not suspicious in the slightest. But, yeah. So, this is one of Christie's more convoluted mysteries.
It is.
In that everything has to go right.
There's so many moving parts.
Yeah.
There are plates spinning in the air.
Because during their confrontation, which is of course all staged, Jackie shoots him with a blank. And then goes, oh my God, catatonic. And somebody leads her off. Somebody goes to get a doctor for Simon. So Simon is alone for about, I think they determine like 3 or 4 minutes. Mm-hmm. Where he takes his shoes off, runs across the boat, shoots Lynette, runs back, puts his shoes back on, and shoots himself in the leg.
Yep. Tosses
the gun.
Yeah.
And then the maid saw him. So when she's talking to Poirot, Simon's in the room. Which is why she uses that coded, if only I were on the deck, I would have seen something. And then he tells Jackie, who kills the maid. And then Salome Audubon sees that. And she comes in to tell Poirot, and here's where Simon just yells out, "What? You saw somebody kill the maid?" And then Jackie finds a gun and shoots Salome before she can say who killed the maid.
And then they finally admit to their wrongdoing. And Jackie gives her love, Simon, a hugging embrace and kills him.
Yep.
And herself.
And then everybody goes off and does their own thing. Salome's daughter, who's played by Olivia Hussey, who has really got very little to do here, runs off with this character that I never understood why they kept this character in the movie. He's this revolutionary guy that hates rich people, but he obviously has a shit ton of money if he's spending all this money traveling down the Nile. That's not cheap.
It was a very lucrative. Lucrative is the wrong word. Lavish, extravagant vacation.
It's very extravagant. So I don't know where he's getting his money, but little Marxist there is.
Little Marxist.
He runs off with the daughter because apparently they're in love now. I love this movie. I truly do. But damn, there are times where I watch it going, damn, any little thing goes wrong, this whole thing's off. Simon slips with his little stocking feet. Nope, it's done. Jackie misses a train. It's done. Lynette decides she doesn't like Simon McCorkindale. It's done. It's like any little thing trips this entire thing up.
Right, or the lawyers convince her.
Salome decides not to be so extravagant. The person I saw is... and she doesn't just run in and is like, it was Jackie! Jackie killed the maid! Any little thing. Mm-hmm. And it is a problem with this mystery.
Yeah, but there was an attempt made to sedate Poirot.
Yeah, because...
So there's some premeditation here.
Poirot gets drugged a lot. But it's kind of understandable. It's like, oh shit, Hercule Poirot's here. Just drug him. Just drug can make him go to sleep. Then we can do it. Then we can kill the person.
Well, that's how...
That's the 78 version.
The original ends.
Yeah. I have a big problem with Mia Farrow.
Yeah, she was terrible.
Okay, I have a big problem with Mia Farrow in general.
Yeah, me too.
Not that I totally believe her when it comes to Woody Allen, but I have always had an issue with her acting. I don't like the little waifish childlike. Just it seems so affected. I just don't like her acting style.
She's not a strong woman.
No.
And that she portrays a weak woman, in fact.
Yeah.
And that it bothers me very much.
Particularly in this role, because I just don't believe her being the mastermind of anything.
No. Not with... No.
And it's this really weird, because there's a scene in this film, and I noticed it for the first time today, where, like, it's right before Salome's killed, where there's like 2 dead people on board, a murder investigation going, and everyone's just having dinner like it's normal. They're all just sitting there drinking, having drinks and eating dinner, and I'm like, and wait staff is feeding people. I'm like, would you not, like, maybe chill out on the rich extravagance? But hey, it's Agatha Christie, so...
And they're making it into a movie, so they're paying for that set.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're going to fly that kite on the pyramid.
Oh, shit, yeah. Speaking of.
So, the remake opens up with another sort of prologue scene, but it is Poirot on the battlefield.
Yeah, it's World War I. Yeah,
and how he became injured.
Yeah,
which he's not even.
Yeah, this is Brana trying to do too much. He gives Poirot a backstory, including a girlfriend, who mysteriously dies after he's injured. But he's trying to explain his mustache, which we don't need an explanation for Poirot's mustache.
And Poirot does have a war injury, but it's his leg.
It's his leg.
That's why he walks with a cane.
Yeah.
Which is only brought up one time in the book series that I know of.
Yeah.
It's not continued to, like, bring up, and it only explains why he walks with a cane.
Yeah.
I don't know. That prologue, I mean, it comes back later when he is considering a romantic life again. That's the only thing why this like 20-minute short film that happens before the real film exists.
And he brought up the lost love in Murder on the Orient Express, the first remake he did, but it was only him looking at a picture, and this is not anything from any of Christie's books.
No,
but
I assumed he was gay. In fact.
Yeah,
to be honest,
I assumed he was either gay or asexual. Quite frankly,
right.
He shows in the books he shows absolutely no inclination to that.
Yeah,
and in the very last book, he's alone when he dies. Well, he's not alone when he dies, but he's not living with anybody.
He's not partnered.
Yeah, he's not partnered. So Mrs. Marple had a husband who died, but Poirot, I never. And it could be because I'm so spoiled with David Suchet, who is just...
he's the best. He's the best Poirot. It's not even debatable.
Yeah. That whenever I see somebody else, even Peter Ustinov, who played Poirot in the 78 version, I like Peter Ustinov, but he was a big man. And
they played that up, too. It was offensive how they had him just chowing down at every meal.
It got worse than Evil Under the Sun. It got worse than Evil Under the Sun.
As somebody that is overweight, that's offensive to me.
Yeah.
Not all of us eat that way.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And I like Peter Ustinov as Poirot, and he played Poirot like 6 times, but he's not the book Poirot.
No.
So, and here, Brana is definitely not book Poirot. But yeah, so we get this prologue, and we get a backstory for Poirot.
Yes, and then we start into, like, like a speakeasy or disco?
It's a jazz club. It's a
club, capital C.
Yeah, it's a. Okay, they're doing the nasty in the back rooms of this club. You know it.
So you see Armie Hammer as Simon, and I don't.
Carrie something. I can't remember her name. Carrie something as Jackie.
I'm not seeing it.
I don't have my phone with me. We're sorry, ma'am. Let me see. Starring
Gal Gadot plays Lynette.
Emma McKay. It's not even Carrie. Emma McKay as Jackie. Her and Simon are doing the dirty on the dance floor. They are grinding.
They are grinding.
Salome Audubon in this one is a jazz singer.
I loved that change.
I did love that change, yeah.
And the other Otterborn.
Yeah, her daughter.
Her daughter is like her manager.
Yeah.
I really liked that.
Played by Letitia Wright from Black Panther. I liked that change.
Yes, me too.
But here's...
So you kind of get introduced to all the characters at this jazz club,
yeah.
Which Poirot happens to be at.
Yes.
And is witness to Jackie introducing Simon to Lynette and asking Lynette to give him a job. And then we see Lynette and Simon grinding on the dance floor. So let's just... It's not quite as much of a surprise when the next scene goes, and now announcing Mr. and Mrs. Doyle. And it's Simon and Lynette.
Yeah. So...
with Jackie over in the corner in the red angsty face. Why are you there anyway, lady?
And it makes sense for everybody to actually be on the boat in this one because they're all invited. They're all, except for Jackie, they're all invited by Lynette. Salome is invited to perform. Her cousin who manages her stuff is invited because he was at the wedding. You have French and Saunders are in this. Jennifer French and Don Saunders. Jennifer Saunders and Don French. They play Nurse Bowers and the equivalent of Betty Davis's character, but here they're girlfriends. I always love seeing some French and Saunders.
Yeah, me too.
So, but it makes sense that they're all on this boat. One of my problems with 78 is like, why is that Marxist there? Why is Betty Davis? Well, we know Betty Davis took a trip because she wanted the pearls, but still,
yes.
There are people there that I'm like, why are you here?
So, the tourist attractions are pretty much the same, although the person on the pyramid this time is Book.
Is Book, yes, from Murder on the Orient Express. He is not in either of those books.
But in this movie, he is the character that Poirot bounces the ideas off of and sort of becomes the assistant PI, so to speak.
And he is flying a kite on the pyramid. And how much money do these people have? Poirot is getting just like tea in front of the Sphinx, all by his lonesome. And Book is flying a kite on a pyramid. And I'm like, there is no one else around.
This is definitely establishing the wealth that exists in this universe.
Oh my God.
They are the upper 1%. Yeah. For sure. And Book is in love with
Salome Audubon's daughter, whose name I can't remember the name of the daughter.
Lily?
I think it might be. I was just Letitia Wright's character.
Right.
I remember the actress, but not the character name. But and his mother is there, played by Annette Bening.
Rosalie.
Okay.
Yes. So it's the same sort of tourist attractions. The same sort of attempt on Lynette.
Except her and Simon are grinding again when somebody tries to push a rock on them.
Yeah. Nothing turns me on like the heat of the Egyptian desert.
Yeah, no shit. It's 110 degrees outside. Let's grind.
I'd be drier than... But anyway.
Can we also say this is like problematic actor crews? Because you got Armie Hammer and Russell Brand on this damn cruise.
And Letitia Wright.
And Letitia Wright. It's like problematic actor cruise. Apparently this was made before the vaccine.
And I don't know much about the others.
Yeah.
So I don't know that the list ends there. But the same series of events. Attempt on the life, fake interaction, fake confrontation. Lynette is killed in bed. Maid is killed. Maid's body is discovered. Otterborn is shot. No.
No, they substitute Book in this one.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
Which pissed me off. Because
that poor kid did nothing.
No.
He did nothing wrong.
No. And I'm like, that was just a waste of a character. It was a waste of a character. The same problems are with this. Everything has to go perfectly right for this murder to actually happen. They do make Lynette more sympathetic in this one. Mm-hmm. Or at least as sympathetic as Gal Gadot could attempt.
Well, you sense her terror about Jackie's stalking.
Yeah.
That's taken more seriously in the remake.
It's taken far more seriously here than it is in the 78 version.
Yeah.
So they kill Book in this one. And then once again, Poirot's running around with a freaking gun. Which is not Poirot. It's so not Poirot. But, yeah, that's the... But the outcome is still the same. It's still Jackie and Simon.
The outcome is still the same. And then Jackie kills Simon and kills herself.
She kills him. She shoots him in the back, and it apparently goes through her as well. Which doesn't make sense.
No, she puts it to her temple.
Oh, I thought she shot them...
She does do this,
okay,
but it doesn't go through him. So
okay,
she does this.
Okay.
And I'm pointing my finger to my temple.
Yeah. But then he slumps down in this little bar stool, and she slumps down on top of him, and they don't fall to the ground. And I'm like, wow, gravity just stopped existing in Egypt for a brief moment.
I rolled my eyes at that, too. That scene is very poorly done. I rewatched it, and her position on the gun changes several times.
Yeah.
That's why it's so difficult to understand where the bullet is going.
I have a feeling with this version, because it was filmed prior to the allegations against Armie Hammer coming out, I have a feeling there were a lot more scenes with his character. And they trimmed it as much as possible. They couldn't cut him out completely, and they couldn't reshoot it. So they were kind of stuck with this guy who has some pretty serious allegations against him. It's more than just a kink. It's some serious allegations now. And they couldn't just cut him out of the film. So they trimmed it, and as a result, a lot of what happens with him and Jackie seems very choppy.
I didn't even pick up on that. I just don't care for Simon, and I guess I didn't miss him.
I also found it very problematic that you have this actor who is being accused of sexual assault, and you're leaving in scenes with him just grinding against your actresses. It was just kind of... I'm not a prude, but when I was watching this initially in the theater, I was like, this is off-putting because I know what the allegations against him are.
It was off-putting to me, too.
Yeah.
As I was watching it, because I was thinking, oh, what's he thinking right now?
Yeah.
Like, it's just not...
I've always found him to be just bland.
I wish that they would have been able to reshoot it by recasting it.
Yeah.
But I understand why those scenes were kept in the final cut.
Russell Brand's character has very, very little to do here, so
he just walks around looking confused.
Yeah. There's one scene where he attacks the cousin, and I laughed out loud because he's like, "Rah!" And I'm like, oh, no, Russell, you're just not threatening in the slightest. But, yeah, it's just, I don't know. This version, once again, has an actress that I'm not particularly fond of. I do not like Gal Gadot. I find her incredibly wooden.
I don't mind her in this.
I find her wooden. This is one of her better performances, but I find her to be incredibly wooden.
I thought she was. I thought this was the best performance I've seen her in. Really,
I still like Wonder Woman, but this is far better than Wonder Woman 84. But good lord, just about anything is better than that movie.
But I had a problem with Russell Brand.
Yeah, Russell Brand he's such. I don't even understand.
I don't know what that performance was.
Yeah,
like it was.
He just looked confused. He didn't look like he knew where his marks were.
No, he looked like a confused, like community theater actor that was mistakenly cast in this big production.
I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor. And I did love Salome in this version.
Yeah, me too.
I loved Angela Lansbury for the goofiness, but I liked the change here. That's one of the few changes that he made that I was like, I like that. I didn't even mind that they were kind of hinting at a romance with her between her and Poirot. That kind of, I dislike intensely that he shaved his mustache at the end. Because again, that's not Poirot. That's not Poirot. Even though his mustache in all of Branagh's films, the mustache is ridiculous. His mustache has a mustache. It's ridiculous.
It's a double stash.
It's a double stash. It's like they put on one fake mustache and then forgot they did and put on another fake mustache. And in the end, he shaves it all off because he's in a jazz club.
Well, because he's grown. Because
he's grown. He's apparently not finally... much though, because he retires in Venice alone. But yeah, there are changes that he made that I like. There are changes that he made that I hated. But I think that's he's trying to make. From what I understand, he's trying to make an Agatha Christie extended universe.
Yeah, he is.
And I'm like,
he's trying to make a Branagh universe.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's fine. Can we get some Marple? Can you like sit behind the camera for one movie and get a Miss Marple?
Yeah, but I don't see that happening.
I don't, because he's going to just keep doing Poirot.
I'm a fan of Kenneth Branagh's work, but I have to say there is ego there.
Oh, a lot of it.
And
if he said vegetables one more time in this damn film, I want to grow the vegetables. I like the vegetables. The vegetable. I like say vegetable one more time.
Let's talk about the music for a moment.
Okay.
Music was absolutely terrible in the original.
Oh, in the original?
It was bad. Okay. In
the 78 version, it is TV movie bad.
Yeah.
I would have thought this was a TV movie.
Yeah. Yep.
Because Ustinov did play Poirot in 3 TV movies.
Oh, okay.
But this was a theatrical film, and the music is just... It sounded like they just...
Somebody laying on Casio keyboard keys. I hated it. But I didn't like the music in the remake either.
No.
It's bad.
It's bad. And it's Patrick Doyle.
I don't understand.
Who Branagh always uses. And who has done one of my favorite soundtracks of all time with Henry V.
This was a huge miss.
This was just terrible. And I have to say, this is the second time because his score for Murder on the Orient Express was just as bad. And I'm like, I don't know what Branagh's telling him to do with the music, but it's not good.
I agree. It's a director sort of thing.
Because I know Doyle can write a decent score. But he's done it for Branagh before. But yeah, both movies had terrible scores. And that's a problem. I've seen the other 2 Ustinov films, Evil Under the Sun and Appointment with Death, and the music doesn't get any better. It doesn't. It's so just kind of copyright free almost. Like I would say they downloaded it, but it's 1978,
right?
So yeah, you would think that it was a TV movie.
Yeah, absolutely. It has that feel, and it has that pacing.
Yeah, there's almost commercial breaks.
Yes.
I did, however, the 78 version, I like when he's interrogating everybody, that everybody gets to shoot Lynette. It's like this series of, then you'll shot her, and you see all of these characters just shoot Lynette in the head over and over again. So that was funny. And
the Cobra was funny.
The Cobra was, well, yeah, because there's a Cobra that's in the book, too. There's a Cobra in the 78 version. Somebody throws a Cobra in Poirot's room. Again, trying to take him out of the equation. In the remake, it's going for Lynette. And he stops it with his cane.
Mm-hmm. Right when they board.
Yeah. And then you get this scene where Lynette's dressed as the Queen of the Nile. And I'm like, what is the purpose of this? Other than to show she's wealthy?
Oh, that was right after...
That was right
after Jackie was saying that they were in drama school together, and she was cast as Cleopatra, but a week before the show, suddenly they didn't need her as Cleopatra, and Lynette was cast as Cleopatra. So then cut to her wearing Cleopatra drag.
It was kind of like, okay,
just throwing in Jackie's face that I get what you get, or you don't get what you think you get. I ultimately take it from you.
I will say both of these versions have a distinct lack of Egyptians.
Yeah,
in Egypt,
it was noticeable.
There's staff in the 78 version, and that's it. And they're basically staff in the remake, and that's it.
Yeah, this is, well, the wealthy don't mingle with the culture.
No. So that is...
So who do you... Which film do you prefer?
I'm going to go with the 78 version. As much as I dislike Mia Farrow, I like Ustinov's Poirot more than I like Branagh's Poirot. They're very, very close. I can see where the 2022 version is watchable, but I have an issue with him trying to make Poirot an action hero. That's just not Poirot. I mean, just come up with your own detective at that point. Don't try and establish something that's not.
Yeah, I've heard that criticism too. I'm gonna give it to the remake, but it's very slight. It's really just because of the Otterborn change.
Salome Audubon, they pronounce it like a couple different ways in each movie. I do like that change.
Yeah, the jazz singer.
Yeah.
That's it, though. And the music is slightly better. That's really...
But that's it. So we'll see what he does next with the Poirot-universe.
Yeah, do you know what movie he's working on next? I think he's working on a personal project.
Okay.
Before,
yeah, because he did like Belfast before he did Haunting in Venice. He does throw his personal projects in there as well. I would think it'd be something. I want to think it's something well known. Although he chose A Haunting in Venice is actually based on A Halloween Party, which is not a very well known Poirot at all. So, of course, the book also does not take place in Venice.
And he's already retired at that point, so where's he going to go? Where's the story going to go from here?
Yeah, that's kind of... It was weird that he had him retired in that movie.
Yeah, he's going to have to come out of retirement.
For something. So I'm assuming like Appointment with Death or maybe The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, which would be very interesting if he chooses that one. But, so we split, but these movies are really close. Yeah. If you like Agatha Christie, you'll probably like some aspects of both of them.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll get that whole, if you like a murder mystery, you have that.
Yeah.
It is fun to watch Poirot piece together what happens. Because it's so convoluted, you would think Jesus Christ, how'd you pull that shit together in 30 minutes? But I'd also like to hear from the listeners when they think the plan was hatched.
Yeah, because we were
before Simon was introduced, and I'm doing quotey fingers to
Lynette,
or did they meet prior to that?
And yeah, it's really kind of... It's weird. In the 78 version, there's like a little, oh, you're cute, when they meet type thing. And then, of course, in the remake, they're just grinding on each other in the dance floor.
Yeah, and my interpretation of what Carol perceived as, oh, they're cute, I perceive to be...
Oh, you.
We already know each other. Let's be on the sly.
Yeah.
In front of Jackie.
So, yeah, that would be interesting. But yeah, Jackie hatched the whole murder plan. I do like Jackie in the remake a lot more than Mia Farrow.
A lot more.
I'm just not a big Mia Farrow.
No, she was terrible.
I just don't know if she can act. I've never seen her act.
No, I've never enjoyed her acting
and the whole
performances.
waifish thing, the only thing that worked in for me was Rosemary's Baby, and that's not even my favorite. It's not even a favorite of mine. And I'm not just saying that because it's Polanski. I'm saying it because it's just not a favorite of mine.
Right. Well, let's roll for next.
Oh, yeah, let's roll for the next one.
Rolling.
Okay, rolling for the next movie. 24. Which is... The Amityville Horror.
Oh, perfect. Tis the season.
Tis the season. So that I was hoping it'd be a horror movie.
I have not seen the remake.
You have not seen the remake?
No.
Ryan Reynolds. So
he's not known for that role.
No, he's not.
That tells me something right there.
Should tell you a lot. Oh, good. We get to do some Ed and Lorraine Warren next time. All right. So until next time, I'm Carol.
I'm Mia.
Enjoy your movies.